Alright guys, welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 10th of February 2020. This is going to be a public video. I'm just going to go over the study account that we use over on Patreon. Just do a quick refresh. Okay, updated about 28 minutes ago. As you can see, I've been posting the trades that we've been doing. I did a video earlier as well, Euro JPY and Aussie Dollar JPY. The Aussie Dollar JPY trade is still open. So that's currently, according to this, 17 pips up, but I can tell you the actual pip in profit is, when it updates, 14.5 pips. I was up about almost 30 pips on this trade, but the stop's currently now at break even. So you can see plus one, basically just plus 1.1 profit on the stop. So if that gets stopped out, it's effectively a scratch trade, and I'm just going to kind of leave that, let it do its thing. But I just want to illustrate a few things, or discuss a few things quickly. You know, this account is the account that I use over on Patreon. It's effectively this one here. We captured all of this move today, which was very nice. But this is the account that I use. It's an Awanda account. You know, it's 100 to 1 leverage. You know, I use this to do loads and loads of study trades. You know, we did the random trade study as well, which was amazing. You know, that was really, really cool. And I got a lot of positive feedback about that. You know, people, you know, telling me that it made a lot of difference. It really opened up their eyes, you know, to focus on the trader and not so much, you know, the system or the methodology, which definitely does have, let me just turn this down, which definitely does have some weight to it. Obviously you have to think about the system, you've got to think about the methodology, but in the end the trader is responsible for everything, and this is something that I will just continue to bang on about forever, basically. But we'll just go to the history. A lot of all these basically are just this is all the random trade study stuff that we did. There were 71 trades open on that one, but today you can see the Euro JPY trades here. So I opened those, I just put the prices out, limit orders 15, 25 and 28 or 28.3, and they got tagged nicely. I think this may have been a manual entry actually, just looking at this. Yeah, it might have been. You know, I've got so many studies going on, I'll just, whatever, yeah. But either way, you know, the markup and the analysis and everything was like perfect. It was on point, you know. And obviously I do a lot of talking about the Euro JPY. There's intermittent, you know, areas, or intermittent, sorry, not intermittent, but there are times when I'm not around, you know, or there's times when I don't do anything on Euro JPY because we started on the monthly chart, then the weekly, and obviously all of this stuff takes time to unfold. But you know, this has been a study pair for a while over on the Forex Factory thread. But you can see, you know, a comfortable 40 pips, 50 pips and 53 pips. You know, the total average for these are around about 35.7 pips, or I believe it was on that when the orders got tagged. But these all went to target. You can see here 119.75, 119.75, 119.75. You know, and this is every week, guys. Like, this is every week. You know, we open study trades every week. There are some occasions when I will open a trade and just allow it to just do whatever it needs to do, you know, in the process of kind of pushing an idea. I'm very unorthodox in the way that I do stuff. If you ever get the chance to kind of pop over to Patreon, you'll see what I'm talking about. Very unorthodox in the way that I present information, you know, but it's very good. It's very good. I don't want to toot my own horn, but the feedback that I get, you know, it sticks, it goes in, because I force the trader to think about what it is that they're looking at, you know, and experience that live, yeah, which is something that's missing in the industry. You have to experience this stuff live. It's no good looking at hindsight. Hindsight studies are great for, you know, for system development, you know, and doing different things like that, but they're not going to help you going forward, because ultimately when you're in a trade, everything changes. Everything, absolutely everything. You think it doesn't, but it does. When you're demo trading, great, whatever. The moment you open a live trade with some skin in the game, everything changes. Everything. Yeah. So this is really important. It's a massive distinction that you need to make, you know, and that's effectively what I like to do. I like to push this, you know, this live idea. You know, whenever I discuss charts, you know, the guys over at Patreon know when I'm doing videos for them, I will always discuss as it's happening, yeah, in the moment, you know, not in the past. If we're discussing, for example, I'll just give you a quick example. If we're discussing this and we're saying, okay, let's say, I'll just pick a random Aussie dollar, Euro Aussie dollar. So we're looking at the Euro Aussie dollar on the 4 hour here, and we're saying, okay, you see price kind of came up here, created a nice level up here. Now, at the time while we're discussing this, okay, we're not saying, as price came up into this level and it hit it, we're talking about it as it's happening. And like I said, the guys and the gals over there know we're not thinking about all of this. While we're discussing this small area here and the bit before and everything else, they're starting to get used to the idea of what would I have felt like as this was happening. When this tail formed here, this wick, this tail, we're not looking at a tail now. We're thinking about how the perceived analysis would have been while this was solid, a solid down candle, how that would have affected things. Then when it closes up here, how that changes the dynamic of what you're staring at, and so on and so on and so on. And again, it's all centered around this kind of idea of live, the trader in the moment, live, watching price, getting into things, going through the motions, getting a good feel for and a good understanding of, I need to move this out of the way, a good feel for and an understanding of, the issues as they're happening, not, looking back at something and saying, yeah, I would have took this and I would have took that. That's bullshit, man. Anybody can say that. Let's get in some live trades and feel them, experience them. It's the only way to build experience and confidence, and confidence is a huge part of trading. If you don't have any confidence, forget it, stop trading. You absolutely need to nurture and condition, nurture the your self-confidence and confidence in your analysis. If you have good analysis, let's say I'm looking at the chart right now and I'm saying, okay, cool, and this is very loose, guys, but let's just say I'm saying, okay, I like this area here, which is just a random area, right? And I want price to come back up here and touch it. I believe in my analysis, I'm confident, whatever. And then price goes, gets up there. You enter the trade, and then it keeps going, draw down, close the trade, and then it turns and starts to rip to the downside. Well, that's an experience. That's something that you need to experience yourself. And the more you do that, and the more you get used to these ideas, and the more you get used to feeling, experiencing, going through the motions in a live trade setting. And I'm not suggesting you trade live. I'm talking about watching price live, yeah? So when you get used to doing that, it builds your confidence, it numbs down the effect of these psychological biases, and it puts you where you need to be. So they're just some thoughts, guys, and I just wanted to kind of go over, the results for today, which I thought were pretty cool. Again, I did have 2 people, I believe it was, they mentioned, drawdown 71. Okay, look, that's just. This is a study account, all right? Go back in, 2017 when the account was first sorted out. You can see, the numbers aren't that out of whack, really. Some insane, insane percentages on the upside. Some pretty stupid, on the downside. But the account's never been above about $200, yeah. And the guys over at Patreon will tell you that I actually put this money in there before. This was very recently. When I put this money in there, and then I just took it out because we didn't need it. Yeah, it's more than enough in there for us to do what we need to do, and I can just build this account slowly and just do whatever I need to do with it in that respect. And then obviously, as you can see, no data in 2018, didn't trade it at all. 2019, we had this kind of 1%, and these are the study trades that we did towards the end, I believe it was November and December of last year, and then obviously 2020. We did some study trades in January, and then obviously we have these trades now. You'll start to see this increasing. You'll start to see the curve going up nice and high. So and nice and gradual, which is what we're looking for. All right. So anyway, with all of that said, guys, have a great evening. Hope everyone's having a good time. Hope everyone's having a great week, and I'll catch up with you in the next update. Take care.